Hopefully this works. Okay, YouTube is telling me that I'm live now. We're gonna check in with
Yes,
the
you are.
chat.
Yeah, it's going.
Okay, all right. Let's get this episode 60 going, baby. So I apologize, everyone. YouTube killed Hangouts on air, and we've been kind of freaking out at the control panel here trying to get this to run with Open Broadcaster, and things are going to look a little bit differently. But we made it, so I can officially crack the high life.
Oh, wow.
I'm having a cocktail, so.
Right on. Welcome to Bitcoin Altcoin Trading Talk, episode 60. My name is William Kale from Coinigy Inc., one of the founders of Coinigy. We have the whole gang tonight, which is awesome. We got Alex is joining us, Dav, and Mr. Rational, as we like to call him. It's kind of like Mr. Wonderful.
Hardly.
So if you guys want to do some intros for the folks that are tuning in for the first time, maybe start with Brian, I guess.
Okay. Alex has got a dog on you. I don't know how long the dog's gonna last. Did you want to get the dog in the picture, Alex? Or do you need a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Here he is. There you go.
No, I'm good. You won't leave me alone, so.
Right on. You get such good karma, that's why.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah.
hello everybody. My name is Brian Beamish from therashoneinvestor.com. And, really, I'm here tonight because I really want to hear what's on Dav and Alex and Will's mind. And if I'm lucky, I can show you how TRI is taking advantage of this developer cycle and building up fun tools. But it should be a fun show. And it's really nice to see all three of you again. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So.
Likewise.
Hello. And I will go back on mute.
Dav, want to do the intro?
Well, my name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I got a YouTube channel called Da Vinci J15. I also have a Spanish channel now called Da Vinci J15 Chile. If anybody's out there that speaks Spanish, right, you can join that channel. Also, I'm working on Pandora's wallet, right, because I want to get off all my altcoins into a centralized wallet where I own the keys and be able to continue trading Brian's little old lady style of investing in altcoins. Because I love me my altcoins, and the trading method that Brian has taught me is just awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Well, that's a cool endorsement. Thanks, man.
Alex, what are you up to, man?
I'll go back on
So I'm doing some development work for Ubic. It's an open source project and currency that I helped create. We just actually got listed on one of the decentralized exchanges, Crypto Bridge. So we have token support there. So if you create a token on Ubic, you can have it traded on Crypto Bridge. Helping out with one of the exchanges in town here, Einstein Exchange, and also doing some community management just in general for, just some general consulting and stuff, trying to keep the crypto community busy and plugged into each other and make sure everyone's kind of getting some shit done. So it's been kind of a busy summer, but I'm just getting ready to go to DevCon next week. So and tomorrow is the ETC summit in Vancouver here. So if you're in a plastic conference, busy times all around.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's good to talk to you again, dude. It's been a while. So we have kind of a little bit of a different format tonight. We didn't do the whole altcoin shout out thing. Maybe that's a good thing because we've had these tough technical difficulties, and I apologize if I end up like cutting this feed off in the middle or something on accident. I'm trying my best to operate this on short notice, but so you mentioned Crypto Bridge. That's kind of interesting. We've been looking at integrating Crypto Bridge and Coinigy lightly at this point, looking at like running a node, whatever it is required of us, and connecting to the network and trying to pull data, in whatever ways we can. It's not exactly a traditional API. So we're trying to kind of crunch some things together, but we're looking to add some more, altcoin specific decentralized exchanges like CryptoBridge and IDEX, and really we want to hear like what the community wants, because it does take quite a bit of dev time. Once we knock one down, well, I guess Dav can be a testament to this. They're all going to be completely different from each other. just like every cryptocurrency. So but yeah, if anybody wants any decentralized exchanges, or as they're proverbially called, shitcoin exchanges, we're back in exchange adding mode. We just added Coinbase Prime, we added Binance US, and then we added the one with the troll that I can't think of right now. Hold on. Why do I have to Google this?
Like the troll box?
No, it's got a troll logo, and I can't think of it right now.
Well, today there was 2 exchanges that shut down: CoinExchange.io and Nova Exchange. And then shortly after we got a CryptoBridge up and running, they announced that they are enforcing KYC for US IP addresses. So but doing some more reading, apparently, like, they're only kind of a front end for the BitShares DEX. So there's actually like 3 other DEXs that are all plugged into the BitShares ecosystem.
Okay.
So maybe for your integration work, well, rather than looking at integrating CryptoBridge, you can pull straight off the BitShares DEX, and then you're adding like 4 DEXs at once.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the path we're probably going to end up taking. We're still really just kind of lightly looking into what we can do. We haven't gotten too crazy yet, but that would be awesome. I mean, that'd be super cool. Then users can run their own local clients and keep their funds stored on their own PC, use our tools to chart and monitor portfolios and things like that, and all your stuff is stored safely on your own PC, which is pretty nice.
It would definitely make market making a lot easier, because right now I'm just logging into like 4 different things every day as a pin. But
right, and the interfaces are all different. I mean, that's really what we're aiming to solve, obviously. So from our perspective too, there were a couple people replying to the tweet kind of wondering about development efforts and UI UX updates and stuff for Coinigy. And Brian was asking about it as well. A certain options platform or futures platform is kind of not working right now on Coinigy boards, Deribit. So Brian, we're getting to that, but we're in the middle of a major sprint right now on version 2 that is basically optimizing it performance-wise. We've moved some things around to kind of resemble V1 a little bit more, so things are a little bit more intuitive, and they're in the regular spots as opposed to floating around in no man's land like they are on the current beta. We're trying really, really hard to get that update out towards the end of next week, so stay tuned to that. I was going to do a whole preview and walkthrough, but my dev build is completely broken at the moment. So if I can get that, if somebody else is talking, I might be able to get that going and revert some code and get it running towards the end of the show. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I mean, that's about it as far as we're concerned. We're just trying to get V2 on par with V1 as far as performance. Obviously, the interface is laggy. It's a whole new code base. We've been learning as we go, essentially, with React, and we love it now. It's just a matter of kind of crunching all these little bugs, and we'll get a lot closer. So stay tuned.
How's Rob these days?
He's doing good. He's doing very well. He's actually in Florida now. He's actually moved down to sunny weather. So he's working remotely and living the dream on there.
Are you full-time Coinigy? I remember that last cycle you went full-time Coinigy.
Oh yeah, we've been full-time Coinigy since 2015 or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got that impression errantly, but yeah, we've always been full-time. At the beginning of the podcast, we weren't. So
I know the top of that last cycle, you had like a whole dev team going. Are you like managing the whole? So like, are you turning into like a corporation now?
No, I mean, we have an office here in Milwaukee. We have employees. We're not we're not going full corporate by any means. We're still trying to keep just a tight knit group of devs, and we like things at the level we're at right now. I have plenty of friends in the crypto industry that have overextended themselves and have to lay off 30 folks during a down cycle, and that's
Yeah.
really not what I'm trying to get into. So
So
um,
how many devs do you have?
we have about 6 full-time devs. So,
Nice.
I mean, everyone on the team at this point is basically a full stack dev. We all collaborate kind of remotely. We have 5 guys in the office, and then Rob is down south now. So, but he comes up periodically and works in the office. So it's we're still a smaller team, and things are chugging along. It just takes us a little bit of time to get these dev updates out.
Oh,
And
say hi to him for me.
I definitely will. I think he's watching. He's probably mad at me that I told people he moved to Florida, but but yeah. Anyway, so what's new with you, Brian?
How goes life down in Chile these days?
Say that again.
Said Dav, how goes
Oh, yeah.
life down in Chile these days? You got a Spanish YouTube channel up and running? That is cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just gotta put some more content on there. But yeah, I've got a few.
You know how
videos.
many? We had so many people that took our course from down south there, and so many people are like, man, you got to get this in Spanish. It's like a whole world of that's just nobody from up here addresses. So wow, that's a huge thing. So congratulations, that's cool. And are you doing like are you the one speaking or is it other people?
I'm the one speaking. Yeah, my Spanish is okay enough. I mean, I forget a few words, and when I do, I have somebody with me. I try to keep somebody with me just in case, so that hey, how do you say something in Spanish when I'm thinking, and then so that I can like continue on the flow of the video. But yeah, but other than that, yeah, it's enough.
And are you going back up to the North Pole anytime soon?
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm going next week. This weekend, actually, I'm going to Illinois. That's tomorrow, actually.
Oh, that's
Tomorrow,
almost in my neck of the woods, man.
What?
That's close to my neck of the woods. I'm just southeastern Wisconsin. I'm pretty close to Illinois.
Oh, look at that. I'm gonna
Want to meet up for a beer?
Yeah, I don't think I could make it out because it's only for a 3-day stint.
Oh, darn. Well, I
I
tried.
heard I thought I saw you on Twitter. You had like a meetup in Florida or something recently. Was that you, Dan?
Yeah. I had several meetups in Florida. It went really well. Like 20 people came out, and we just shoot the stuff and talk about crypto and how things are going and stuff like that. So yeah, it's lots of fun just being all the people. You know what? I've noticed that my audience is very old. Actually, nobody that showed up to any of my meetups were of the younger age, like in their 20s or 30s.
You're a gold and silver bowl. they haven't done. I was just gonna ask Alex, but I gotta say, some of the people that you refer to us, they're just the most beautiful people. Like Colleen, I don't know if you know Colleen, but she's become quite a character around here. And yeah, that's cool. Good for you. It's great to see you again. About what I meant by North Pole is I watched vicariously. You were up in Davos, Switzerland, I guess. And you were like in an igloo or something, and you all had to sit there, and you could see like the fog coming out of your mouth as you were talking. It was that cold. So
that's awesome.
I love watching you guys and your vicarious lives. And speaking of which, Alex, you're heading over to Japan pretty soon.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is funny.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna board a flight on Tuesday. I had a 22-hour layover in Beijing. I'm in Asia, and then
Alex
so
lives
funny.
in like one of the nicest neighborhoods in Vancouver, and yet he has the worst of our internet. So, that's gotta say
Are you in a
something.
coffee shop
Yeah.
again, Alex?
No, I'm staying at a friend's house. It's probably all the government taps that I have going on right now. They're all stealing my bandwidth.
So you're back. You're off to Japan, I heard, and you're gonna have a layover in China or something.
Yeah, so first time in Beijing, and then I'm there for 22 hours, and then heading to Osaka afterwards for about a week. I'll be there for DevCon. Probably gonna check out Kyoto. But yeah, I've moved into Japan before, but I'm kind of excited. Maybe I'll run into Roger Bear or something. We'll see. And then
is Carpella still living in Japan?
I think he's probably still in Tokyo. I don't know if he's under like house arrest or something, but I think he's there.
Yeah.
But then, next month, anyone in the Waterloo area, south of Toronto, there's ETH Waterloo going on, so I'm gonna fly home to the family farm for that. And I was just home trying to check stuff out and get touching base with everyone. But yeah, it's good to kind of bounce around a little bit. Vancouver's nice, but I don't know. It's I find the city spoils you a bit.
Well, we had our big meetup in Vancouver this year. I challenged everybody to come to Vancouver. I went up to them last year, and we actually had like about 4 or 5 people go, I think I'm gonna move here. I was like, no, that wasn't the purpose of. I mean, I'd love to have you here. It'd be awesome.
Did you have a pretty good turnout for that, Brian? I know we sent some shirts out your way and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, everybody loved the shirts.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. It was easily we had 30, 40 people out. In fact, actually, we were at Decontrol one night there, and had just a really fun time.
Awesome.
And the good part about it was that every single day was different activities and stuff. So it's like every single day was an adventure. It was,
Very cool.
It was a lot of fun showing off Vancouver. Vancouver in the summertime is just awesome, just absolutely awesome. But in the now we're getting into the winter where it's sort of like more. And I can understand why you'd want to hit the road, Alex.
Well, I expect we'll have some more membership at Decentral or Decontrol, our meetup
what
space.
are we supposed to call it now? I didn't think you were allowed to call it Decontrol.
No, Decontrol is the on-paper name, but everyone in the neighborhood called it Decentral. But we have a cease and desist for that.
Oh boy.
But I expect membership will go up in the winter when the weather starts getting a little gloomier and people are all right with hanging out in the basement. I mean, when it's beautiful outside, we start doing Bitcoin on the beach meetups and stuff like that.
Nice. Man, I gotta get my ass up to Canada one of these days. Sounds
I
pretty
suppose,
fun.
and I suppose a lot of our conversation today should be about crypto and all that. So, but I do find it coincidental that Dogecoin it's planning to be this summer again, eh?
Yeah. This June or May, I think probably June, they're gonna have Dogecoin too.
And you can just see that they're getting ready to ramp up. You can see it happening, right? It's it kills me to watch it. So the Doge kids, they're gonna be paid. They're all gonna have their fucking pockets stuffed with money, being able to pay for the conference and stuff, and they won't have a care in the world. So it's kind of interesting how these things are all lining up here. So I fully expect you to give your agricultural report like you did last time.
Well, we have seen a bit of a relief pump on some of the altcoins with Bitcoin kind of coming down a bit. It's a lot of them are rallying from really weird spots though, like Doge is kind of coming off of about 20 satoshis, which it's done before, but normally it's either 20, 28 or lower, down to 15 or something, and that's usually kind of what I use as a barometer for the whole space. And even something like Ripple, Ripple should be back down to 1,500 satoshis before it starts rallying again, but it barely broke 2,000.
Well, and I have a memory for these crazy things, but I remember distinctly Alex always used to say, if Doge gets below 40, you gotta buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it
And
definitely
frankly
is my
speaking, and it's funny because Shane, who was the one who set up the decontrol event for us that night, he, he really likes the Doge trade idea right now. And like I can just see that the Doge kids, they're not going to get flushed out here, and you can see that as we get closer to this coming summer, they're all going to get paid. I know they are. You can see it coming. It's so cliche. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the
but we,
time, you know.
tax law selling going.
What's that?
Tax law selling first.
Well,
before-
yeah,
Yeah.
that's next summer, right? And we know Bitcoin's having an event and all that, right? There's going to be a whole bunch. The question is, does your name survive?
Right.
I don't think a name like Doge is going anywhere.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta love the power of positive thinking, and Doge is like that epitomized, you know?
Well, that's right, and it's so well distributed, right?
Right. Yeah, it really is.
Under
And
promises and over delivers.
Well,
yeah,
there's
when
no
that's your
question about it.
tagline, I mean, come on.
And so, because of that fact, I don't think it's going anywhere. A lot of the fluff from that last cycle, they've just disappeared, right?
Hmm.
Well,
And
funny
then we
enough,
have-
one of the businesses based in town here, coin cards.
Dude, you're
Where
actually brutal.
you can trade crypto for number 2, and then Bitcoin over Lightning Network is number 3. So like that's slowly kind of picking up, but like Doge is still the number 1 go-to outside of Bitcoin for them.
What is this called? You kind of cut out. It's called coin turds? What?
Coin cards.
Cards. Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
you said
So,
coin turds and then you said number 2, so I was like, what?
Yeah, Doge is always number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
kind of curious to
hey,
hear.
I'm sorry, Alex, your video totally cut out there. Can you just say what you just said again?
Yeah,
Slowly?
let me change my settings.
Yeah, you
slightly.
might have to kill video, Alex. As much as we love
Alright.
staring at your mug there.
Man, I can really see Alex here growing up.
Yeah, the crypto winter has been aging me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Coin Cards has been like they process crypto exchange for gift cards for like Walmart or Amazon, Newegg, and yeah, they just launched in the States. So subtle shill. But Bitcoin is their number 1 volume, and then Doge is number 2 volume for cards. And
Wow, so this is like literally monetizing crypto like really quickly.
oh yeah, and then they accept Lightning Bitcoin as well. So that's gotten up to like it's still number 3. So people would rather change to Doge than to deal with Lightning right now, but that's slowly kind of changing. Lightning is getting a little bit better. We got our beer machine in Decontrol's basement operating as a Lightning node now. So
Sweet.
if you come to town, you can connect to our node, and we're trying to get a couple businesses in the area on it too. So you only have to connect once, and then you're like tapped into this kind of whole payment network for Vancouver just by buying a beer at our machine.
That's cool.
Pretty nice. Yeah, we ran a node for quite a while.
Are you buying the beer through like? You have to set up your own Lightning wallet.
Yeah. So there's a couple wallets that are existing right now. Some are custodial, so like you're kind of trusting someone to manage your node for you. And then there's some that you actually have to run the node, but that requires you to be online regularly, or else you could kind of lose your deposit. So this is kind of where there's a lot of usability to still be developed for Lightning. Like the Bitcoin Cash guys might have an argument here of like it's not quite usable yet. Like it's definitely an uphill battle to explain Lightning for someone.
Mm-hmm.
But the best way I kind of hear it is you send a half a transaction, and then and that opens up a channel, and then you can do as many payments as you want, and then you can do a half a transaction again to close it. So basically, you're paying the same fee, but within that, you can consolidate like millions of transactions. So this will be crucial for when like exchanges they're gonna start processing millions of payments again. Like we're gonna be back to $50 transactions again at sometime soon. So start playing around Lightning now because it's gonna happen.
What do you have like a recommended? Do you have a recommended Lightning wallet for Android or anything?
Eclair. Here, let me look it up, make sure it's ECLAIR.
Okay.
So they're kind of one of the main wallets right now, and I think I don't know if they're on iOS yet. iOS is a little bit tougher, but
Cool.
The main one is Eclair for Android.
We'll check that out. Yeah, we ran a node early on. We ultimately ended up kind of discontinuing it, but it was still very, very new. We had to upgrade the client all the time, and so I want to get back into it though.
Yeah, and like even Lightning Labs and Blockstream and stuff, they're still saying like this is trial periods. Like they're limiting the amount you can kind of fund as well. It's still very much in the early stages. There's something new called Watchtowers being developed, so they can it can be a lot more user friendly, and you don't have to be online. It's a lot more like traditional Bitcoin that way.
Okay.
But there is a lot of work to be done.
I've lost Bitcoins on the Lightning Network ones. So yeah, it's not something that people should use willy-nilly as it is right now.
Stuart had a Lightning node going, and he lost some Lightning like that. So yeah, that's another anecdote for that.
Was it just technical issues or? Oh, okay.
For me, it's just that you got to be online all the time, and so if you got disconnected, you lose. Somebody can take your Bitcoins on the Lightning Network node that I have, so it's not.
Wow. Okay.
Wrong.
Yeah, like once you do the half transaction, you're required to basically be on and process for your channel, and then if someone wants to close the other side of the channel, you need to be on to facilitate that close, or else you could lose your deposit. So it's really all depending on like who you're connecting to, how frequently you're using it, but like it's not really conducive to like a mobile wallet application where you're
sure. I get what you're saying. It's more almost like a B2B type thing, or market making behind the scenes type of thing, I guess.
Oh yeah, like any worker to be working on this right now, because like if your exchange really wants to be ready for the next bull run, like being a full functioning Lightning wallet on your exchange, you want to withdraw with regular Bitcoin, or you want to withdraw with SegWit, or do you want to withdraw with Lightning?
Mm-hmm.
Like these are all things that like should be features already in development.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. I got to add that to my list of things to do in Pandora's wallet. Just that, I felt it wasn't mature enough when I was playing with it, but I've heard that they've updated it so that now you can actually receive Lightning payments without sending an invoice first, because before you had to send an invoice in order to receive money, and you have to tell somebody how much to send you in order to receive money. And that's how it works. So, if you didn't do that, right, you wouldn't be able to receive, like, you couldn't get random payments. And now you can do that. And so that's a big upgrade. But you know what? We have to worry about the flaws, right? Recently, there's a flaw that came out in Lightning Network that allowed people to steal other people's money. So yeah, it's been patched, of course, but it's just recent news here.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it's difficult to set, to put our weight, I guess, Coinigy behind that as like an actual production type of thing, knowing stuff like that is still out in the wild. So.
Well, that's where was it BTC Pay? It seems to be one of the better payment modules right now. But you're accepting Bitcoin directly.
Hmm.
But yeah, like BitPay and a bunch of the other ones are, yeah, not providing the best service. I think almost maybe intentionally bad because BitPay has Roger Ver as an investor or like on the
Yep.
board. So there's definitely some kind of political moves going on there.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
ended up dropping BitPay. God, it's almost probably 6 months ago now. Um, Mainly just due to the requirement for users to use payment protocol. It was a huge source of friction for users to pay us. So, you had to actually, you couldn't even find a raw BTC wallet address to send to. You had to go through their payment protocol stuff, and only certain wallets were supported, and yada yada yada. And they made a lot of changes to their backend interface that we didn't like and stuff like that. So we ultimately, at least for now, we're on Coinbase Commerce, which, it's Coinbase. They're the big behemoth corporation in crypto. I don't love that, but Coinbase Commerce works. It lets us accept Litecoin, Ethereum, a couple other different cryptocurrencies, and it's been pretty flawless so far. I know we did look at BTC Pay server, but it looked like it was a little bit more of a headache than we wanted to take on at the time. So that's kind of why we went with Coinbase Commerce. Um, I'm gonna revisit it though, because I know things evolve over time. I'm sure it's a lot
yeah,
better now than it was back then.
yeah. Well, and the space is evolving. I mean, like Coinbase is kind of a conglomerate in the space, but now we have a lot bigger actors like the JP Morgans of the world
Right.
are involved in the space now, and you see that more and more with these futures products. When they launch, they dump the price.
Yep.
They're tied into the mining as well. Like I knew of an outfit that was going around and basically buying defunct mining operations and
Of which there are many.
going to buy more. Right?
Yeah, I was saying
And
there's
Shane to do. Shane's loading up on cheap GPUs right now.
Yeah, exactly. So like, they're all getting ready for this transition period we're gonna have where it's not about the block reward anymore. It's just about the ability to produce blocks. Like, if you want to run an exchange, you're gonna need to have a hash rate to process your own transactions. So they're preparing for that, but they're also wanting to control the sell pressure. Like
right.
we saw 40% of the hash rate disappeared for a day and a half. That just shows you that they have a huge amount of control of the sell pressure on Bitcoin. So they're able to really influence this market, and they're trying to load up right now. Like I was calling for this drop to 8,000 for ages. As soon as you see a gap on the CME, do not forget it because the CME futures, when they leave a gap behind, it's coming back to that. They're not letting it get away without some orders getting filled there.
That's a good point. Yeah, I've been kind of watching the Bakkt stuff, even though I don't really have access to great charts on it. we've been speaking with them about getting that integrated within Coinigy. We'll see. It still kind of remains to be seen, but pretty crazy that the price dipped like it did right after launch. I kind of wanted to hear Brian's thoughts on that.
Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe it's as
Yeah.
simple as that.
Yeah, it seems like
Well,
I think
they're
it felt like just to finish Will's question here, Alex. Didn't mean to interrupt. It just felt like the Bakkt event happened. I think certain players were looking for the reaction of the market. I mean, it could have gone one way or the other. Market could have taken off if there was overwhelming demand. It didn't, and there was a guy that came out and just said, "Get me out."
Okay.
And, I think it was to their. I think they're blaming the dump on a like $1.2 billion move. You could see technically that the move was actually sort of set up ahead of time.
Yeah, someone on chat just said that. They said TA was predicting the drop. Bakkt was just a quote-unquote reason, excuse, basically.
Right. Well, and more importantly, there just wasn't any sort of fundamental driver on the other side of that. You know, they could have had the backed event, and a whole shitload of people could have come just storming in and bought up the market. I mean,
Mhm.
that happened. And I think that there were some people that just wanted to watch the event.
Right.
It just didn't play out to anything. And with nothing else driving price on the other side, you know, people were probably like, you know, what's the reason to be long now? All right, there isn't any. Let's get out of here. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I agree with you on that. I was kind of hoping that we were going to have so many, you know, big time institutional investors coming in and jumping on this platform, and it was going to be a major success. But per usual, never ceases to amaze.
Well,
I'm
you know,
sure
kind of
volume's
like
picked up a little bit now, but I know it was pretty
that
lackluster.
CME event, though, eh? Like the move down to 3,000-4,000. That was the move where the institutions were probably net buyers.
Okay.
You know, it bottoms. They ramp the market up into this backed event, and now that that's done with, it's not exactly the same as the CME event, but pretty similar.
Brian, I don't know how many times you taught me in classes that, you know, major events like that, right? When people hear about it and it's coming this day, the specific day, and everybody's like excited about it, that's a perfect point to say to buy the rumor and sell the news. And it just played out exactly just like back when the CME futures played. I mean, it was like you could have shorted on the day, both times. CME, and the day that CME came out, and the day that that came out, boom, market straight down. I mean, you couldn't, there was no point where you would have had a stop loss after back. Your stop loss would have been hit after back came out. I mean,
I had a short work in just before that, and I got flushed out just before the event, which kind of pissed me off. And then just on my flush out, the market then puts in a nice polite sell signal and then dumps. So, you know, Murphy's Law, you can't win them all. I mean, on balance, like Alex was saying, whether it be CME gaps, whether it be things like the 50% rule, it was just, there was a lot of anecdotal evidence suggesting that price needed to come back down. This happened to be sort of the event that sort of marked it. I'd also say too, you know, I'm noticing in the stock market right out of the gate here in October, they're in a real selling mood.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's a lot of people that are going to be like, Bitcoin's not correlated with the stock market, but I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of correlation with sort of Bitcoin and crypto being that sort of risk on kind of play, especially in altcoins, and the stock market. So
I want to get your opinion on something. When the stock market collapses in the recession, how do you feel the Bitcoin will fare? I mean, I like everybody just to give their opinion, both Alex and
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like gold. You know, when stock markets collapse, because a lot of gold names and stuff are included in indexes, they end up getting dragged down with it. It's very hard for anything other than that's like completely not correlated, like bonds or something, or cash proxies, not to get sort of sucked down in that inertia. But I think it will outperform stocks, especially like high growth, high PE stocks. But at the same time, too, you know, the interesting thing with something like Bitcoin is, you know, it bottomed at 3, it topped at 13, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, 50% rules at 8 grand, 7 grand, whatever. You know, maybe the stock market comes off 5-10%, Bitcoin drops another, you know, 5%, which would just basically put it, sort of ironically enough, into a buying window. And actually, that's, you know, I call me crazy. I'm a big fan of these planetary cycles. And Shane, again, another shout out to Shane. he's really big on the planetary cycles, and he pointed out that there's an important sort of long-term planetary cycle conjunction happening in January, which is the harbinger of sort of financial asset change. Things like the creation of the U.S. Federal Reserve System, Bretton Woods, the Volcker's War on Inflation. Might even argue, that was the advent of this crazy world that we live in today. But that happens in January 2020, January, February. So, if anything, I kind of like the idea of the stock market dumping, setting a base. And crypto, actually, that's the base that crypto, because it's going to be sort of dragged down with the market.
Mm-hmm.
That base actually sets the base for our next cycle, where crypto actually is a real asset, and it could very easily be the future of money. I was really impressed. That's one of the reasons why I absolutely love working with this community, is you people are so smart, and you can look at the world from so many different perspectives. And I get, I try and keep an open mind, and I love how Shane's super jazzed on those planetary cycles. It's so cool. So I don't know whether that answered your question, Dad, but that's my sort of take is, if the whole damn thing collapses, gold and almost all commodity assets will be dragged down, but my hunch is they probably outperform.
Yeah, I guess kind of. Oh, go ahead, Alex, if you want.
What I'm seeing kind of on the exchange side, kind of just echoing what you were saying about the meetups too, is like there's a lot of older folks that are starting to kind of diversify into it. They're like, oh yeah, I've been watching this for a little while, starting to read a little more, I kind of understand it. And yeah, like some of the main things keeping the exchanges going are these OTC deals with some of this kind of bigger old money. Yeah, the guy who wants to buy like 8 figures of Bitcoin. It's like, okay, well, smart money seems to be getting in right now. They're starting to see the cracks and stuff, and less trust in buying government bonds. I mean, like, would you really trust buying a stake in the U.S. government right now? Like, it seems like they're going to be under new management again soon, or there's going to be some issues. So, like, everyone's kind of looking for different ways to go. I mean, I just bought some more.
At least your principal is guaranteed. Ain't no guarantee of Bitcoin principal, that's for certain.
True.
Yeah.
A lot of people learned that lesson the hard way in 2018.
But even just from a basic math standpoint, these guys are starting to realize, like we're coming up on the 18th millionth Bitcoin being mined, and like there's not enough for every millionaire in the world to own one, let alone every billionaire. Like there's going to be a time when Bitcoin is straight up sold out, because like every exchange is going to be low on liquidity and it's going to be hard to find. So yeah, those days are coming again, and I think a lot of them.
There was some guy who was just willing to let $1.2 billion worth go, so I'm sure that's a bit of liquidity for the market.
Yeah, and like those moves do affect it. Like we already deal with low liquidity, but the state of the industry right now, and with this last bubble, was this is the hedge funds getting involved. Now, like the next bull run wave, this is when the governments are going to get involved, and we're already kind of seeing like even municipal governments are kind of like, oh yeah, we can accept Bitcoin for payment, and like the smaller ones are starting to turn already. So like once we start seeing this more adversarial world come about, and the governments want to start not relying on traditional networks for payments, like they're going to start looking at these permissionless networks as a means to finance the world they want to live in. So yeah, like we're getting to that stage. It's definitely looking like Bitcoin's going to be in the prime time sooner rather than later. But yeah, right now,
I mean, it's already accepted. It is industry standard now.
Yeah, I was going to add to that. I mean, we have a financial advisor down the hall from us at our office, and they're managing people's mutual funds, stuff like that. Every single guy there, they're in their late 40s, early 50s. Every single one is into crypto. They know about more than just Bitcoin. They know Batcoin. They follow stuff. I mean, And we're talking about these
That
are
scares
just
me a little.
no, I know, but
100
and they consider it their extremely high risk, tiny, small, take a little nibble investment, but they're into it and they follow it. I mean, it gives it legitimacy, and they're talking to their clients about that. Hey, man, I don't know if you're looking for a little bit of risk. I heard such and such altcoin is going to take off next week. Maybe throw a little bit at it and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that doesn't hurt.
Well, I think GeoCoin this morning, it went like 6x or something like that just in one day.
Geo, that's the one with the geocaching stuff,
Yeah.
airdrop stuff.
I mean, like, I'm not saying I took the trade, but we did definitely talk about it on the site today. There are names that are popping up like that. I mean, trade is a trade is a trade. I guess, the question I would have for like Alex and Dev is, do you guys like believe that, because it's almost 2 years now from the last cycle peak. I remember having sushi with Alex in like November, January, sometime around that, right around the peak, and him saying, "Man, we really need a developer cycle," and we just got it. And so my question for you guys is, and Alex specifically, do you think the industry has used the time appropriate and has actually made developmental progress?
Yeah, like I think there's definitely been a bit of a call. I would love to see more of these exchanges with fake volume to go away because they're kind of the main thing that's really an indication of the market still too frothy for people. But we can't wait too much longer. I mean, the Bitcoin halving next May is fast approaching. Yeah, and I think. Like especially Ethereum, if they're gonna release the ETH 2.0 in the next quarter, like that's kind of been like their mainstay of like how are they gonna prepare for the next wave of applications and usage, and yeah, we'll see how it kind of goes. We're already having some problems on the test net, but like that's really the clearest indication of developments actually happening. It's like we hit this peak in 2017, all these networks were full of transactions and being having scaling issues, which is like the first for the industry. And now 2 years later, we're finally starting to see the solutions kind of come about on those key networks, and a little bit of development on some of the other ones too. But yeah, it's like I've definitely seen like the people who are still interested are the ones who should be here, like the ones who are actually have a genuine desire to build something cool, and they're not just in it for the quick flip.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we see it even on meetups and stuff too. Like the people that are coming are just kind of they have an interest in the economic side of it, but they're just like, well, what's this like the whole philosophy side of this mean? Or like, well, why is this technology so important? Like, so the money talk is definitely a little bit less, but like there's still meetups that are like that too. Like everyone's just talking about what shitcoin's gonna pump next. I mean, there's always going to be the market makers trying to keep people interested and moving from coin to coin. But yeah, like we're still working hard on Ubiq stuff. I mean, like we want to see GeoCoin really become one of our namesday dApps, and like we think that we
are you allowed to comment on what happened there today?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. When I talked to some of the community, I didn't really get any pickups on like who it might be, but one of the other Ubiq tokens pumped a little bit too, so maybe it was related to the Coinbase or crypto bridge action. A little bit of volume on there.
That's not that Mercury, is it?
No, crypto bridge is
no, that other coin that was on Ubiq that pumped.
Oh, Sphere.
Oh yeah, actually, isn't that funny? So yeah, actually both of those names we were talking about on the site today. So yeah, both. I mean, the charts look like they're trying to say something to us, so that's good. So just out of curiosity, and I wouldn't mind giving Dav an opportunity. Like from your perspective, Dav, have you seen the development over the past couple of years? Do you think this time has been used effectively?
Well, effectively, well, we'll only see that when we go into the next run up and we see products that people could actually use
Mm-hmm.
and actually provide value. That's the only time we're going to know if this time was used effectively. This, right now, just a matter of opinion. For example, I've been investigating a few dexes and stuff like that, and they're still young and very immature and need a lot of work to them. But but they've been built, they're being tried, they're being improved and so forth. So that is always a good thing. We just need to see into the next pump cycle with Bitcoin. What are they going to provide? Are they going to provide value to basically the public? And that will decide whether or not this developer cycle was used wisely.
And you haven't seen that yet? That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, I have, in my opinion, right? But the real opinion matters is the market, right? For example,
well, no, but I would argue you guys are the smart money, right? You guys are the people that are inside the industry. So I'd be curious, and Alex too. Is there any product? Is there any service? Is there anything that's got you going, holy shit, this is I gotta totally get all over this.
Well,
yeah, I was about to tell you about
the newest buzzword going around right now, especially in the Ethereum space, is DeFi or DEFI, decentralized finance. So it's kind of like not just dexes and stuff, but actually like futures products and these like kind of algorithmically run like stable coins and random shit like that. So
is that like the binary options? I hear everybody talking about I want to trade binary options on Ethereum.
Yeah, so like basically getting exposure to something like the S&P 500, but purely on the Ethereum chain. So like this is kind of allowing people who are in the third world to like have access to these market instruments or these kind of pegged assets. So that's kind of where the new buzz is happening. And I haven't done enough research to really say good or yes or no, but like I mean, there's movement, like which is there's definitely some interest, I think, from the main communities kind of rallying around it and trying to build applications that can compete.
That kind of sounds like a decentralized one broker to me.
yeah. Like,
is that what
one broker was great. Like, it was one of the best ways to get that little bit of exposure with Bitcoin. I think I left my trade running there a while ago.
DeFi is one broker decentralized. Is
that's the elevator pitch, yeah, but not shut down by the FBI this time, maybe, or something.
Okay, well, thank you for the clarification. All right, and Dav, there was something that you wanted to say. Is there an idea or something that's really hot that's got your attention?
Yeah, I'm really interested in this decentralized exchange called Resistance. I think the developers behind that have done a great job so far. I mean, it's still got problems and stuff like that, like all new products. But I really believe in this project, and I'm mining it like crazy, basically. And I have a lot of resistance coins because you know what? It's one of the best kept secrets. I've been looking to see how many people are interested in this product, and I'm glad that there isn't a whole lot of interest, but I think it's going to come once people see the value of a decentralized exchange. Now, there are some issues because they have to provide liquidity to start off. They have to bootstrap it,
right.
So they have to use third-party exchanges to bootstrap this thing. So they do use KYC on the decentralized exchange, but they plan to do is release it once they've produced the liquidity. They're just going to let it go into the public, meaning that it's not going to be part of a company's asset, like the actual software. It's just going to be like Bitcoin, basically developed by the community.
Is that built
So
on is that on someone else's network, or is that like their own blockchain?
their own blockchain. They
Okay.
use their own blockchain, resistance blockchain.
How would you characterize it? Is it in like an alpha state or a beta state or production ready? What, just in your opinion, what would you call it?
My opinion, it's still a beta stage. I mean, like Bitcoin is in the beta stage.
Sure.
It's like it's usable, but I think the exchange itself will have some flaws. The currency itself, not so much because they used all the cool technologies that are already out there,
Hmm.
so that you actually do mining on your computer, not using it like without specialized equipment. So yeah, I mean it's good that way, and it's very fast. The exchange works really well, but the exchange does not totally
Okay.
yet.
All
Just
right.
it's a disaster. But I expected that because you know what,
Sure.
this is new technology.
Okay. Interesting. We'll check that out. Yeah. I mean, we're, like I said, we're trying to find decent, well, for quite a while, we've been trying to find some decent decentralized exchanges to add to Coinigy, bare minimum just for, data, pulling in data and charting and stuff like that. So I'll take a look at that along with CryptoBridge.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you need some coins, I can send them to you.
Cool. Let's do it.
Great.
Viva la
Great.
revolution.
Resistance.
Oh,
Join the
resistance, not revolution. Resistance. Sorry.
What do you think, Will? Do you think you needed this 2 years to get Coinigy rocking and rolling?
Yeah. I mean, people don't see what goes on. I mean, we're busting our ass day in and day out. I know it seems like not a lot of progress is being made on V1 and V2 right now. We've gone and rebuilt our entire exchange connectivity layer. We've rebuilt our entire API. Everything is a lot more solid. So very soon we're starting with, I think, Poloniex, and then Bittrex and a couple other of the more popular altcoin exchanges. We're going to be releasing our version 2 code pretty soon after this big sprint is over. So look forward to that. But yeah, I mean, it's allowed us
Someone
to
is
go ahead.
asking in the lounge. Do you guys ever visit that FTX exchange? I'm not quite sure if it's an exchange or a site or how that works.
FTX? I'm not sure if I know of that one.
They've got something called, and I'm not swearing here because I think they call it it, but they call it like the shitcoin index.
Okay.
And I'd love to be able to chart that somewhere other than that site.
Okay. I'll check it out. We are talking about bringing. We had our own indexes back in like 2015. They didn't get a lot of really views on the site, but I think if we brought those back, they would potentially get some legs and get some usage again. So we've been talking about bringing those back. And I'll take a look at FTX and see if we can get some indexes on from there. And yeah, we're looking at a lot of different data types and things as well. We've got, well, first of all, let me kind of answer your question. During the big run up in 2017, it was like our first foray into scaling issues. We learned on the go, getting so many users on the platform and how to manage our support staff and just running a business with onboarding so many new users at once and things like that. So we've been through the gamut as far as scaling. So our platform is solid. I mean, we're not going down anytime soon. Knock on wood, bar for any kind of crazy event. But having been through that entire cycle really hardens the platform and hardens our systems and makes sure that we've got monitoring in place and everything that's needed. So we're going to be ready when the next big pump comes. Let me put it that way, from kind of a back end standpoint. A lot of competitors, I would call them, out there haven't been through that. Yes, they haven't been really battle tested yet. So keep that in mind next time you're trying to check the price when everybody is running around with their heads cut off next year or whenever it is, whenever the event happens. But really, it's allowed us to focus on the platform a lot for the last year and not focus just on all these scaling issues, because we've had that stuff for the most part worked out. So it's really been rebuilding our systems, making them more redundant, more reliable, working on new exchange integrations with completely new code. The version 2 platform, which we have a very solid base, we just have to continue to optimize and make it a lot more performant. Um, we have so much stuff coming, guys. I promise. It's just going to take a little while. We've made some partnerships also with one of them is Into the Block. They're awesome. Check it out, intotheblock.com. We're going to be serving some of their data on Coinigy, Coin Code Cap, and then we're talking with CoinMarketCal as well. Just getting all these third-party data vendors basically in the platform. So you sign into Coinigy, you'll have access to all of those data points. So there's a lot of stuff coming along, but yes, this past year has allowed us to focus on a lot of kind of under the hood revisions that we wouldn't have been able to do back in we wouldn't have been able to focus on in 2017 because it was, I know you guys were around during it. Brian, you were around during it. I know you were swamped as well during the big bull run and all that stuff. So, you know, we were just running around trying to keep our servers alive at that point, and it was really hard to focus on, I guess, innovation at that time. And we were just trying to work on, you know, continuing the business and scalability and all that stuff. And we've got that nailed as far as I'm concerned. Now it's just a matter of building new features, new data points, optimizing the platform, optimizing the mobile app. We just had a big release on Monday to the Android app. We're trying to get the iOS app out this week. So that was more than a mouthful, though. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious because if anything, the viewers need to know. You know, everybody's hard at work here.
Yeah, it's difficult to launch new features. You know, I mean, sending a new feature out that's partially broken to thousands of users usually doesn't bode well. So there's a lot of testing involved and a lot of testing involved on this exchange stuff. So just sit tight, it's coming.
Right on. Alex, I'd just be curious if you don't mind me asking, if Ethereum moves to Ethereum 2.0, does that mean Ubiq changes or does it stay at the same code?
It upgrades when we push the upgrade. So we have a hard fork planned probably in the next month or two, which will bring us up to almost what Ethereum is today. It will kind of get us back on track with developments. And then when Ethereum moves to Ethereum 2.0, like it's going to be a pretty major network change. But yeah, there's zero effect to Ubiq. Like we'll start monitoring the changes and kind of getting an idea of what worked and what doesn't, how we're going to do maybe proof of stake, or if we could do it without doing proof of stake. Yeah, just like we immediately go into kind of research mode when the new network launches. But yeah, like our mantra has kind of always been like we only move over what works. Like Ethereum is our test net, so we're pretty set on trying to keep our network as stable as possible. And like yeah, we've had very good operating time. We're, knock on wood, the only alternative Ethereum network that hasn't been 51% attacked. So that's based on the changes that we made to the network and like the kind of preemptive stuff that we've done in terms of mining algorithms and stuff. So yeah, we're just trying to roll out like governance stuff now, just to try and keep things moving and interesting for the community members that are around and engaged. Because yeah, like now that we kind of had a bit of a culling like of the markets, like the community members that are around are the ones who actually care about the underlying project. They want to participate and help. So yeah, that's kind of where we are on the technical side, at least.
So you have like the discretion, you can watch their upgrade, and if you don't like what you see, you don't necessarily have to implement their upgrades. And at some point down the road, you can choose to do the upgrade or not. Do I understand that correctly?
Yeah, exactly. Like we've kind of been going with waiting about 6 months of operating on the Ethereum mainnet before we merge any changes to Ubiq's mainnet. So yeah, we put a healthy gap between new changes to Ethereum and what is currently operating on Ubiq.
Cool. All right. Oh, there was a question that was just on the top of my mind, but anyway, it's gone
Ryan, I wanted to hear, I know you mentioned you had some stuff going on development cycle wise for your platform and stuff. Kind of
Yeah,
wanted to hear about that.
we got our chief technology officer, Sjord. I guess you could say that last cycle we were trying to move away from WordPress. So our
I would
developer cycle
strongly
is
recommend that.
basically get divorced from WordPress and grow up and run our own website. So that's coming along, and man, it's difficult.
Are you guys moving to another platform or CMS or anything? Do you know offhand, or is this all like from scratch?
I'm too stupid at that stuff. All I know is that buy, sell, sell. That's all I know.
Right on.
But you know, I was very pleased to see that the tools that we've been building out, technical screeners, breakdown and stuff, it's slowly making the migration over. And the boys, Julian and Stuart, my partners, they've been trying really hard to make the site and the school a little bit more automated so it isn't so labor intensive for me. So that's been a bit of a bonus. It's given me a bit more time to be with Liam and stuff. So that's good.
Cool. That's a good thing.
But all in all, I totally agree with you, Will, and it sucks because, you know, we're all in this business from sort of the business side of it. And what I've seen in classic stock market analogy is everybody always piles in at the top, and we, as you know, like when I was working in the stock market, it would be like brokerage houses or newsletter writers or whatever. Your business goes absolutely parabolic into that peak. And then you have to take a couple of years to, you know, sort of weed out all the sort of looky-loos and stuff like that. So I think on balance, my job over the past couple of years has been more of, you know, empathizer, try and slow people down, try and, you know, teach them, you know, like Alex once said years ago, and frankly speaking, I've used the expression countless times, that you know, my job is to just try and teach people some like financial literacy. And during these kind of times, this is when this stuff, you know, really pays to slow down. Don't take too much risk, all that kind of stuff. So it's been, you know, it's been morally challenging, but I actually think that in up markets, when we were going through 2016, 2017 there, my job is actually extremely easy. All you do is just sit there, load up. Oh yeah, it's not a bull market, banging out doubles. Oh yeah, I mean, that's the easy part of the job, right?
Yeah.
The past 2 years, this is the hard work, where you just got to show up and try and be the demonstrator of best practices. Try and encourage people not to blow themselves up, not to get emotional, right? Slow and steady, all that kind of talk. This is where I earn my living. So, ironically enough, over the past couple of years, it's my personal karma load has gone up, not down. But at the end of the day, I think that our community is thankful for sort of that slow and steady approach. And I tried as best as I could to slow as many people down through that blow off top. But gotta tell you, like me morally, personally, it's been very difficult watching the public, you know, just get here. It's been very, very tough. So, you know, the good part about it is TRI has been taking advantage of this time to get our ship really solid, management team really solid, and the site platform really producing. You know, my partner Sjord actually started out as a student of mine back in 2000, I think.
Ooh, bless you, Alex.
Yeah, I didn't say. And now he's on like a 12 for 12 win streak on his trading right now, and he's
Awesome.
scared shitless because he's gonna
Yeah, he knows it's coming.
but it's fantastic to see the evolution and the maturity in my partners as well as market participants. So yeah, I mean, I think if anything also too, I would say over the past couple of years, it's taught me to be a better, mentor, teacher, try and be a practitioner of best practices and try and temper your enthusiasm and stuff. So it's been a learning experience for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Cool.
I don't know whether do we actually want to look at any price charts tonight, or I think we've been chatting for a couple hours. It's not a bad. I actually really like this time.
Yeah, I like this format. We get to just shoot the shit and
sort of peer into your guys' brains.
Yeah.
I think on balance, Alex probably said it best. Watch for those gap fills, and reload zones, all that kind of stuff. That would be the simple message that I would have for people here.
Cool. Dave, did you want to talk any more about Pandora's Wallet? Dev updates?
I discussed it on MM Crypto Show, but why not here? So basically, we moved our servers around. There's a little bit of downtime for that, and we've had some issues and stuff like that because when you're moving servers and stuff like that, it's like not all the software is connected properly, or all the networks are set up properly. So yeah, there's been some ups and downs, but yeah, I think we've worked through all the problems now. All the transfer of coins and connections with the what's it called, the exchanges. It's all good. Also, you know what? With Pandora's Wallet, we're going to be using proxies to connect you to your exchanges. So if your exchange does not accept your American citizens, as long as you use a VPN to connect to them to initialize the setup, after that, it's straight through a proxy through Chile. So yeah, you can use that to your advantage, so you don't have to worry about going on your exchange to make some trades. So that's also a good thing about Pandora's Wallet. So yeah, and that's about it. I mean, we're going to be constantly adding coins, constantly improving the product, and we're looking forward to adding, improving the user interface, and also moving it over to other operating systems.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've explained everything I wanted to explain tonight. Alex, do you have any parting words or?
Yeah, so if you guys run into me at a conference, I should have some of these. I don't know if you can see that on camera. It's a macro coin. Macro like the fish. It's infinitely scalable. It's kind of the new project I'm working on. Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
Is it silver?
Scalable, it's a fish. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Anyways, yeah,
awesome.
We're doing more governance stuff for UBIC. So if you do have UBIC, get it off the exchange in your own address and submit your claim for your governance coins. Those will have much more of an effect in the coming months. Yeah, keeping busy with a bunch of stuff, working with the guys at Einstein Exchange here in town. They're launching, am I coming through okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, they're launching their own coin right now, and then now we're kind of going full bore on the next project, which is adding airline reward points as a market on the exchange.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna get the original shit coiners.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tell your grandparents they can dump their coins and they can buy some Bitcoin with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dump those Delta reward
the parting
points.
words I have for you guys. Keep an eye on do some research. This is the time to read. Check out the community, see if there's activity in the communities now, because I'm sure there's a lot less bots and stuff being run. Yeah, and stay safe out there. Find someone you can trust.
Yep. Remember, you can always trust us. Yeah. Bat
You have a
podcast,
track
baby.
record.
Pretty good track record.
Pretty
So,
good.
yeah, I mean, so at this point, I think we should probably do another one of these. What do you think? Like at some point in the future, once everybody is back from Japan and, wherever, whatever foreign
Illinois.
country they're in, Illinois,
Yeah.
exotic,
Also going to
beautiful
Bali.
Illinois. Oh,
Go to
nice.
Bali and
Yeah, I heard Bali's
Oh.
really cool. Bali's got a huge developer kind of expat scene over there. I'll get over there someday. Sounds pretty sweet. So cool. Well, I guess on that note, I think we'll bid thee adieu. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Any parting words other than stay safe out there, traders?
Okay, for the win.
The
Yeah.
wheel will return.
Yeah, hopefully next show will be a hashtag alts are back show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Technical prowess on this new streaming setup.
Yeah, and I'll try to do some work understanding, how to run this stuff. And yeah, as DJ Celery suggested in the chat, this is not financial advice, and we never recommend a VPN to skirt your country's laws. Figure we'll say that one.
You gotta go to Japan and get a new Doge.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. Well, on that note, we'll
Have a
say
good night.
sayonara and happy
Great
trails.
seeing you all.
Take care, guys.
Bye.